And this week's episode was Back in the Saddle Again. During jumping practice, Molly falls off of Calipso and becomes too afraid to ride her again, while Calipso blames herself for Molly's fall. But when Scarlett is in trouble, both Calipso and Molly will have to face their fears. Okay, things I liked about this episode. First off, I liked the storyline. This was actually a very good storyline, and while it had all of the kids and their horses in the episode, the main focus of the episode, the ones that were in it the most, were Sarah, Molly, Calipso, and Scarlett. So it did kind of narrow the pool down to where you were kind of just looking at the interaction between Sarah and Molly, and Calipso and Scarlett, and Sarah and Scarlett, and Molly and Calipso. So the friendship between the two girls, the friendship between the two horses, and the bond the girls had with their horses, which we see in a lot of the episodes, but it really focused in on the two individual friendships, Calipso and Scarlett's friendship, and Molly and Sarah's friendship. Secondly, I liked the lesson. One of the most hardest things to do when we have a setback is to try again. And that's kind of what happened here with Molly. She fell off Calipso and fell pretty hard. And she's also, you got to keep in mind, she's also the youngest of the kids. So she became very afraid to try riding again. But it goes back to that old saying of, when you fall off the horse, you've got to get right back on. And that's basically what the lesson was. You fall off, you make a mistake, you screw up, you just got to get right back out there and keep trying. The other lesson is that sometimes you have to face your fears to move forward. And Molly, Calipso, and Scarlett all had a fear that they had to face. Molly's was riding again because she was afraid she was going to fall and get hurt. Scarlett's was of the vet. She had a medical emergency. And Calipso's was more or less keeping Molly safe. And with Molly and Calipso, what kind of caused this cascade of the fear the two of them had was the fact that they hadn't been jumping together for very long. So they were unsure of each other, and they hadn't built up that. They have a bond with each other. It's very evident that they have a bond, just like the others have bonds with their horses. But the trust they have with each other is not, from what I'm gathering from this episode, not quite up there when it comes to the jumping. And the thing is, they have to work in tandem. I mean, I don't ride horses. I mean, I do, but I don't. I don't take riding lessons. I will go to stables sometimes and ride, but I don't have a horse. I don't go riding or anything. So I don't do show jumping. I don't do dressage or anything. But from what I know from watching shows like this, from reading books about horses and whatnot, when it comes to show jumping, you want the horse and rider to act as one. Same thing like with dressage. You want the horse and rider to act as one. You want the movements to be seamless. And the horse has to trust the rider to know when to jump over, to let them know when to jump over the fence or the obstacle so they don't get hurt. And the rider has to trust the horse to not only obey, but to not stumble when they fall. And if you haven't been jumping a lot, like Calipso mentions in the episode that she and Molly haven't been doing, the trust is still not quite there. And I think that's what freaked the both of them out a little bit when Molly fell. But I could be wrong. And if I am, I apologize for that. Okay, things I didn't like about this episode. There wasn't a lot I didn't like about this episode. I thought it was very well written and very well portrayed. I would have liked to have seen the other kids more than we did, because we see them in the training ring when Molly falls, and then afterwards when she's a little too afraid to ride. We see them when they're going off to the jumping competition. We see the horses in the training ring when Molly falls, and like right after, and we see them at the end when they come back. But that's about it. The primary characters we see in the episode are Molly, Sarah, Calipso, and Scarlett. But again, that's okay because we are focusing on just them. And again, like, these are just the first couple of episodes, so they're trying to set up the characters, the relationships, and whatnot. So I do get it to a degree. And you can't have every single character in every single episode. So I do get that as well. Okay, feel free to check out my other videos. Excuse me. Okay, before we sign off, a few things I'd like to touch on. First off, a quick reminder on my comment rules. Okay, please leave your comments and questions in the comment section. I do love to read those. Also, feel free to follow me on Wattpad, Tumblr, Instagram, and Twitter. I do have my name for those 4 sites right there on the screen, as well as the pictures I use for the icons. Please note that all pictures seen within this video do belong to their respected artists. I own absolutely nothing, and the links for any sites mentioned will be in the description section. Okay, YouTube subscribers. Any of my videos that cannot be found on YouTube are on my Facebook page. Facebook friends. Basically the same deal. Any of my videos that cannot be found on Facebook are on my YouTube channel. And to anyone who's interested, you can feel free to check out my Facebook group, Fanfic Corner. Okay, please like and share if you're watching on Facebook, or like and subscribe if you haven't already, if you're watching on YouTube. And as always, thank you for watching, and have a very nice day.